A conservative icon is dead, shot by a sniper from a rooftop perch at Utah Valley University. Now the most intense manhunt in America is underway. The FBI has recovered critical evidence of bolt-action rifle ammunition with inscriptions, forensic traces, including palm prints and footprints. They have high-quality video footage of the suspect's movements we're going to show you. Yet despite these leads, the shooter remains at large. What began as a campus speaking event ended in tragedy, sending shockwaves throughout the political world. Federal agencies are mobilizing every resource to track down the killer. The investigation details emerging paint a picture of a carefully planned and precise execution. What happens next could change everything, so stay with us. Now, friends, even as we mourn this terrible loss, we must continue supporting the sponsors who enable us to bring you the uncensored truth, so your patience during this brief message is deeply appreciated. Imagine an opportunity that could grow your wealth while also strengthening your country's future, and that's what the vision behind Western Star Resources is. Western Star Resources is an experienced, publicly traded gold and silver exploration company with a proven track record in advancing high-potential projects. The company combines deep geological expertise with modern exploration techniques to unlock value in some of North America's most prospective mineral regions. With domestic demand for precious metals continuing to rise, and with the U.S. government backing stronger domestic exploration, Western Star Resources is positioned for the next stage of growth. Check them out. The link is in the description, westernstarresources.com, and we thank them for supporting this program so that we can continue bringing you the news that needs to be told. So President Trump has weighed in on the manhunt for Charlie Kirk's killer outside of the Oval Office.
They'll get it.
Do you believe the killer was a trained assassin? Usually your instincts are always on.
I'd rather not say. I think progress is being made. He's an animal, total animal. And hopefully they'll have him and they'll get him. What he did is disgraceful. Charlie Kirk was a great person, a great man, great in every way, especially with youth. And what he did, what this man did, was disgraceful. So hopefully we'll have him and we will deal with him very appropriately.
Do you believe the killer was a...
More news is coming out regarding the assassin on Fox News. John Solomon says foreign intelligence was involved in Charlie Kirk's shooting, but he says it in a very passing manner. Listen.
Hot leads is a little bit, and we all lost, no matter what side of the political aisle you're on, we lost something important in America today. But the case goes on, the investigation goes on. There's a lot of piecing of evidence together. We don't have a shooter tonight. We have a couple leads, a couple of people that were released that probably aren't the shooter. There's a couple hot leads. There's a little bit of foreign intelligence. And I think over the next couple of days, we will learn a lot more, and hopefully we will bring to justice the evil person who did what they did to Charlie today.
Yeah, so I'm not sure what he means by foreign intelligence. Maybe he's discussing the fact that we have foreign intelligence supporting the investigation. Here's the FBI discussing the images of the suspect. We do have those.
So perhaps he the building, fleeing into a neighborhood. And they're asking neighbors in that area if they have doorbell cameras to turn over anything that may produce an image. What they didn't say is whether or not he ran there on foot or drove a car. But later they said, we do have good video of this individual. We are confident in our abilities. And with regard to that, they say they have footwear prints. So perhaps he was on foot, and also palm prints. And they asked for any video and images tipped to the website there. This is a bolt-action rifle. It is manually operated. It is extremely accurate. And according to a lot of gun experts, it has fewer moving parts, which would give the killer an opportunity to take a more accurate shot. And based on the graphic images that the world saw yesterday afternoon, that shot was a kill shot. It took one, and Charlie Kirk barely had a chance of survival.
I think it was a good idea.
Here is the visual Vice President Vance carrying Charlie Kirk's coffin after landing back in Charlie's home of Phoenix, Arizona. To clarify, this was actually video of them going to Phoenix. You can see in the background the hangar, Utah hangar, clearly makes that distinction. Now, we do have some video here we have to take a look at. Now, this is these are the images of the alleged shooter. These were published 8 hours ago by the FBI of Salt Lake City, asking for the public's help identifying the person of interest in connection with the fatal shooting of Charlie Kirk at Utah Valley University. 1-800-CALL-FBI is the number they want people to contact. These are the images that have been released, it looks like, from security cameras, and it's still unclear exactly what is on the shirt there, but people on the internet obviously doing what the internet does. The crowdsourcing of investigation is widespread. People across multiple message boards, reverse engineering visuals, social media profiles, everything. It's remarkable to watch how people have come together to assist the FBI in this. Now, some are alleging that the shooter's name. Now, I have to be careful here because we don't know if this is the actual person, but they're stating this person's name is Sky Valadez of Ogden, Utah, part of a trans activist gun group. Now, you can see in this post here, looks like this person perhaps may have debated Charlie Kirk in the past. So I have not seen the video of this moment where this individual asked Charlie Kirk a question or when it happened. But it does look like it's, there are similarities here. Now, more people are alleging this is the high school photo of Sky Valadez, who did have a song called Charlie Kirk Dead at 31 on his SoundCloud account. She, her pronouns on Facebook, lives in Salt Lake City metro area. So people are actively tracking down this individual's socials, which are quickly being deleted, which is curious. This post states I was able to get this from Facebook page of Sky Valadez before they took it down. Do what social media investigators do with this type of info. And it looks like it's a picture, screenshots of the alleged shooter's friends list. So people are going to be quickly cross-referencing all those friends and the individual. And of course, CNN does what CNN does. Nick Sortor posting that CNN is censoring the fact that the Charlie Kirk shooter's firearm had transgender writings on it. They're calling them cultural writings. And it's absolutely shameful how CNN continues to just scrub the truth from the American people.
Today, as they say, a lot to go on. Today, as they say, key breakthroughs, but the manhunt continues. A lot to go on. Today, as they say, key...
You can see on the screen there, the Chiron says, Phrases related to cultural issues were scrawled on the rifle and ammo found near the Charlie Kirk shooting.
You've probably seen this video.
And more on the investigation done by crowdsourced individuals online. Based on public findings, this appears to be identified as the individual known as Sky Valadez of Ogden, Utah, part of a trans activist gun group who is posting a digital album, Death to American Scum and Charlie Kirk is Dead to Me. Screenshots show some of the investigation here. This clearly appears to have the same visual representation of the close-circuit camera. The hat, the sunglasses seem to be a match with what we saw there. Now, this is the dispatch audio from the frantic moments after Charlie Kirk was shot.
Black is going to be wearing all black, black long gun, black tactical helmet, a black mask, possibly wearing a tactical vest and jeans.
Now, this is the footage that has been released. TMZ releasing the video showing the Charlie Kirk assassination suspect walking towards the campus. Now, I was talking with Todd and Brian about this video. As you know, they are part of our production team here at Next News. And I noticed immediately the person walking with the limp. Now, it's what's believed, the reason he's walking with the limp is that he had the gun hidden in his pants, the rifle hidden in the pants. But you can see this is what you're looking at now is video after the shooting of the alleged assassin running and hiding behind bushes and emerging here. So we'll take this a little bit larger for you so you can see. This is the TMZ video. Now keep your eyes close to the T, the top of the T, as you saw the alleged shooter running behind what appeared to be like a storage container or a dumpster. There is the shooter emerging from behind the home, now running with shorts on. Take another look at this video. Now you can see the shooter again. This is prior to the shooting, walking curiously and very likely concealing the weapon as they are walking towards the campus. Yeah, in the second part of the video, there is no limp from the alleged shooter walking away. See, the person is walking freely, crouched, clearly in an effort to conceal their position. I mean, the person who's running in the back there just looks guilty, the way that they're hiding. But this is the video that has now been released. TMZ securing this video, so you're seeing it perhaps for the first time. And just hope we can find this person. Some have told me that they're not going to find this person, that this person was part of a larger group of people who did this in a fashion that was professional. A lot of people are saying this was a professional hit. Now this account is showing this is the gun that was discovered, and they make it a point to discuss the rounds that were used, close to a NATO round. He was shot from 200 yards away with a 30-06 round fired from a high-powered hunting rifle. At that distance, with a reliable rifle and a 30-06 round, even an experienced shooter could easily hit a target. Some people who have never handled a firearm are claiming the bullet ricocheted off the body armor. That's not true and not possible. To understand why, look at the difference between the smaller NATO 5.56 and the larger 30-06 rounds. The 30-06 are larger, heavier, and more powerful. It doesn't dent body armor, it goes straight through almost any vest available to civilians. The 30-06 struck the neck, passed clean through, and exited the other side, probably buried itself in the ground or in something behind him. The sheer power of the 30-06 makes it clear that no civilian vest could have stopped this shot. Attaches the image of the rifle the killer used to murder Charlie. So, you can see the different calibers here. I believe that the one in the middle is the 308. Now, I'm not a gun expert, so I don't know the specifics with respect to these rounds, but I believe that's what we're looking at here, is the 308 Winchester round, which is believed to be the caliber that was shot. Over on Blue Sky, the celebrations of Charlie's death continue, to the point where even Blue Sky, according to Newsweek, has issued warnings to users celebrating Charlie Kirk's assassination. Now, people are believing that this was a professional. This one here states, no way, this wasn't a planned assassination. He was shot by a professional sniper. Not many normal people can shoot a gun from 200 meters with the accuracy that shooter had. It was planned, and it was definitely a hitman that Charlie Kirk, that killed Charlie. Now, if we take into account, before I go back to that this person was part of a trans activist gun group, then it's very easy to believe that this person trained, practiced, and could have actually pulled a shot off. So it could be this individual here who just practiced and practiced and practiced. Other people arguing the professional shooter, some of alleged foreign nations are involved. That's unclear. But here's an eyewitness. An eyewitness says the shot that took the life of Charlie Kirk was fired right after he was asked about trans violence, as if it were coordinated. Now, I don't want to get into, conspiracies surrounding this, and I don't want to, I've seen people argue about rings and things that are fake, and it just makes me so disgusted that people just immediately jump to these conclusions. And listen, we have to look at the facts on the ground, and doing a frame-by-frame analysis of a freaking ring is just a waste of time, and it only serves to, I don't know what it serves in certain people's minds when they want to keep investigating. But this person clearly believes it was coordinated, like they were waiting for him to say these words, and then they took the shot. I don't think that the shooter could have even heard what was being said. Maybe he could have. Was he waiting for that moment? I don't know. Was he waiting for the perfect opportunity to take the shot when a question was raised? It certainly is possible. Let's listen.
After I got done talking to him, I really couldn't exit because there's such a big crowd. So I turned around, and like 10 to 20 seconds later, after I got done talking to Charlie, I saw that he was shot in the neck and that he was squirting blood everywhere. But I was piecing things together, and it was really weird because the second guest that I talked to, before I went and asked him the question, what I was going to ask him, he was talking to him about how he was going to ask about transgenderism or something like that. But nothing about shootings. And this is the irony that came to me, which was like, right when he asked that, not like 5-10 seconds later, he was shot. And not only that, right after that, someone confessed to it who had no weapon, which makes me think that it was clearly a setup and that multiple people were involved. So, but prior to that, that's all I saw because everyone was squirming.
Anybody fire a shot?
I didn't see anyone fire a shot. I think it had to come from an elevated position for sure. After.
Okay, so to listen to this eyewitness account, it could have been clearly coordinated. That if this is a trans activist gun group, then they could have easily planted individuals in the crowd to ask the question, so that when the question was asked, that the shooter would know, okay, this person's walking up. He knows that the person who's going to ask the question, that the question is going to be raised, so that soundbite is echoing throughout history. So that way, that was their cue. And then, of course, there was an individual who was apprehended, several actually, on the scene, which could have served as a diversion so that the shooter could escape. So, I mean, it's not outside the realm of reality for a activist group to coordinate something of this nature from within their circles. So it doesn't have to be a professional hit. It can just be a coordinated action by a radical trans activist group. CNN refers to the trans and anti-fascist ideology as cultural phrases because the shooter was on their side. Big Tom Callahan writing. Here's the headline: Federal officials probe rifle and ammo scrawled with cultural phrases after Charlie Kirk killing. Charlie Kirk, person of interest, seen on video heading towards campus. We showed you that video. Given the distance of the shot, 150 yards, this rifle easily capable of that shot. If the memo is true, this was a professional. This was a professional hit. Dialogue needs to stop. So, taking a look at the location of the shooter and the images of where the shooter was, you can see clear line of sight, and sadly, just by the layout of the campus, Charlie did not stand a chance. There were just too many locations for a shooter to position themselves. 128.1 meters. So that's the visual analysis. Some more video here of the shooter escaping the scene has now been released. We saw some of that yesterday. This looks like it may have been enhanced or another angle. As you can imagine, so many cameras were recording in that moment that I'm sure we'll find many more videos surfacing in the days ahead. Charlie Kirk's shooter, described as college age, blended with students before the attack at the university. High-powered bolt-action rifle recovered in a nearby wooded area, according to FBI reports. Authorities have footage, but withholding release as investigation continues. However, it has now been revealed. Now, Steven Crowder posted this morning. He says, this morning my team received an email from an officer at ATF. The email included a screenshot from what appears to be an internal message describing a weapon and cartridges located by ATF and other law enforcement near the scene of the Charlie Kirk shooting. And this is the actual screenshot that was sent to Louder with Crowder. So this is the full message that was written on September 10th at approximately 12:24 p.m. Conservative political influencer Charlie Kirk was shot and killed at Utah Valley University, Orem, Utah. Kirk was speaking at the university as part of the American Comeback Tour. Multiple SLC 1 and 3 agents responded immediately. Suspect fired one shot from an elevated position on a rooftop in an adjacent building on the campus, and surveillance video shows the suspect jumping off and fleeing the area on foot. ATF and other law enforcement located an older model imported Mauser 30-06 caliber bolt-action rifle wrapped in a towel in a wooded area near the campus. The location of the firearm appears to match the suspect's route of travel. The spent cartridge was still chambered in addition to 3 unspent rounds at the top-fed magazine. All cartridges have engraved wording on them expressing transgender and anti-fascist ideology. An emergency trace has been submitted to ATF. SLC is working An ATF SLC is working leads generated by the trace. The firearm and ammunition have been taken by the FBI for DNA analysis and fingerprint impressions. Upon completion of forensics, the firearm will be disassembled for additional importer information. Multiple people of interest have contacted or detained because of eyewitness testimony and review of the video footage. The primary suspect is yet to be identified. ATF is assisting the investigation with multiple other federal, state, and local partners, and the case is co-led by the FBI and the Utah SBI. Here's more from another image of the rifle that was found. The gun was left in place. The shooter knew the authorities would find it quickly with engravings linking them to trans ideology. This is the gun. Pictures of the engraved ammo are yet to be released. New York Post headline, Killer Intentions. Gun recovered in Charlie Kirk assassination revealed ammo had pro-trans, anti-fascist engravings. FBI releasing these photos. Again, we have these here. Now we have this from Lindell TV. Photos released from the shooter's sniper's nest in the Charlie Kirk assassination. Authorities have released photos showing the shooter's point of view as Charlie Kirk spoke at Utah Valley University. The vantage point matches the viral video from yesterday that appeared to show someone moving on the roof overlooking the event. The FBI confirmed they have recovered forearm imprints from the site for analysis as part of the ongoing investigation. So here is the, you can see that little white piece of paper and the vantage point of the shooter with the tent where Charlie was assassinated. Here's a close-up visual of this is the, appears to be the evidence marker. And I believe that each of these arrows is pointing to the imprints of the shooter as evidence markers pointing to the locations where the shooter crouched and took his position. Here's more from the video of the shooter. You can see across the top. So this guy says if you think Charlie was killed by a radical lefty, you're mistaken. Not sure if I want to entertain this. However, we have this. 4chan identified another possible suspect. Named Jack Bellows is the allegation here. Lives in Utah, very politically active, co-chair of Democrat Socialists of America. Ran for local office, was disqualified, posted about Charlie Kirk online. So they're posting these visuals of this person that they believe could also be the shooter. Again, these are allegations, and this person should be presumed innocent until guilty. From his, looks like his social media, I'm Jack, a community organizer running for SLC Community District, Council District 6, Solidarity, Accountability, and Prosperity for All. And this appears to be the social media profile. This looks like his X page. Hick in Mormonland. I'm a southern boy in Utah. In a Utah world suffering from chronic resting bitch face. That is the bio line on the account. He reposted Charlie Kirk on May 25th of 2022. Charlie Kirk wrote at the time, "Don't allow emotions to dictate gun policy. Tyrants would love nothing more than to capitalize on an evil tragedy as an excuse to confiscate your guns and limit your ability to protect yourself." So clearly, Charlie Kirk was on this individual's radar as well. Here's some news from Fox discussing the ammunition and the palm print and footprints.
Messages only that message action rifle in a wooded area. Well, now several federal sources confirmed to Fox News that messages were found written on both the gun and the ammunition here, and those messages are currently being reviewed by investigators. We can't confirm what were in those messages, only that messages were found scrawled on both the gun and the ammunition that investigators have found, and that is under review right now. That gun will be having what's known as an urgent trace by the ATF. That is when they're going to try to find out where the gun was purchased, when it was purchased, what the possible chain of custody was. Keep in mind, the FBI also announcing earlier this morning they found a partial palm print. They also found some footprints, and they do have good surveillance video of the suspect. They just say they're not going to be releasing that video right now. They say those images show that person, whoever it is, jumping off a building and running off into a neighborhood, and that person appears to be college-aged. But again, Harris, multiple federal sources telling Fox News that messages of some kind were found written on both the gun and the ammo, and investigators right now looking at those messages, as here we are about 20 hours after this assassination and still no suspect in custody just yet. But it sounds like investigators are hot on this person's trail. That's all we got right now. Harris, we'll update as soon as we have more. We'll send it back to you.
Bill, thank you so very much. We are...
Okay, so here's a former Navy SEAL, former FBI special agent, says the shooter knew Charlie Kirk was going to be there, knew the area. Speculation was a professional hit, as there were 3 assassination attempts. This one was accurate. The shooter had help. This is on Fox. Former Navy SEAL, Jonathan Gilliam.
Get on in order to shot. So they knew that Charlie Kirk was going to be there. They were familiar with that area. If they were not familiar with that area, they wouldn't just show up. I mean, the show had just begun. It was the first show in that tour. So that individual showed up and was able to gain access. That means they knew where the stage was going to be, most likely, and what building that they could get on in order to take that shot. They came dressed in case if it was a Kevlar helmet, then they were ready to get shot at. It also leads me to believe that there's a possibility they went back inside that building, took off those clothes, and exited with everyone else in the melee of the situation, because if there was only 6 police officers there, remember, Charlie's team is not responsible and cannot just shut down buildings and then occupy the whole space. That's law enforcement's job. So if there wasn't enough law enforcement there to do a proper perimeter security, then that means there wasn't enough law enforcement there to weed out the people as they ran off.
Jonathan Gilliam, thank you so much for being here this morning. I know some of your colleagues on our air from the FBI earlier this evening said this looked like to them a professional hit. And I think to Carly and I and to you as well, that is one of the major questions that's still outstanding at this point in time.
Well, can I say one thing?
Yes, sure, quickly, please.
If I gave you a set of Legos and I told you to build a house with it, you may get it wrong. But if I give you instructions, you'll eventually get it right. We've had now 3 assassination attempts. This one was actually accurate and killed Charlie Kirk, all using the same avenue of approach and the same vulnerabilities. People aren't locking these down. And so finally, somebody came there and took advantage of that and killed someone. And I think that is very important for everyone to realize that if they're going to have these events, they have to lock down the perimeter and not allow people around that area. Charlie Kirk was a civilian. So people need to realize that a civilian was killed yesterday for exercising their free speech, and largely because of people wanting him dead, but also because security failed in locking down that area.
He was killed while debating, which is what this country was founded on.
Shot.
Here we have more from the FBI. Bolt-action rifle, manually operated, extremely accurate.
Individuals question. So the headline came at the end there, Dana. We have images of the suspect. That after they gave us a number of details that we were not privy to prior. So they say a number of individuals questioned, they've been released, they asked for privacy for them. At 11:52 a.m. Utah time, they tracked the suspect to that building. They later, after the shooting, tracked him jumping off the building, fleeing into a neighborhood. And they're asking neighbors in that area if they have doorbell cameras to turn over anything that may produce an image. What they didn't say is whether or not he ran there on foot or drove a car. But later they said, we do have good video of this individual. We are confident in our abilities. And with regard to that, they say they have footwear prints. So perhaps he was on foot, and also palm prints. And they asked for any video and images tipped to the website there. This is a bolt-action rifle. It is manually operated. It is extremely accurate. And according to a lot of gun experts, it has fewer moving parts, which would give the killer an opportunity to take a more accurate shot.
The FBI is offering a reward up to $100,000 for information leading to identification and arrest of the individual or individuals responsible for the murder of Charlie Kirk on September 10th, 2025, Utah Valley University in Orem, Utah. Contact 1-800-CALL-FBI and submit your photos and information. People have done AI enhancements to the closed-circuit still frames that were released. I wouldn't trust these because the AI is going to insert facial features that may not be accurate. And then we have Joe Rogan actually weighing in on this as well with Charlie Sheen discussing the initial CNN report where they talked about ridiculously saying that they shot the gun, someone shot a gun off in the air in celebration or something.
What a crazy
shooting like this happens.
You can put the headphones on, you can hear
it. And again, I emphasize what you just emphasized. We don't know any of the full details of this. That we don't know if this was a supporter shooting their gun off in celebration, or so we have no idea about.
That's what the crazy thing was.
Oh, that's it.
Yeah, if it was a supporter shooting their gun off in celebration.
What? Someone shot their gun off in celebration and killed him.
You shoot celebration guns in the air.
Oh, God.
Just,
what a crazy take. Like, it might not have been someone assassinating someone for the wrong opinion.
Huh.
Fuck.
Well, why does something like that have to be spun?
Their ideology.
No, I know, but I'm just saying it's like...
I mean, they want to try to pin it on a Trump supporter with a crazy Trump supporter with a gun.
Right.
Going wacky.
Of course.
We don't know if it was a supporter shooting off a gun in celebration. Because, you know, they do that.
Right.
A lot of folks are just constantly out there shooting off guns at large gatherings in celebration.
Yeah, 4th of July, you can't leave your house.
What the fuck?
Shooting like this happens.
You can put the headphones.
Now, that person from MSNBC, we're learning, has now been relieved of their employment there as an MSNBC contributor. Stephen Crowder, FBI corroborating multiple details that were included in the memo that Crowder received this morning.
FBI laboratory. This morning I can tell you that we have recovered what we believe is the weapon that was used in yesterday's shooting. It is a high-powered bolt-action rifle. That rifle was recovered in a wooded area where the shooter had fled. So the FBI laboratory will be analyzing this weapon. Investigators have also collected footwear impression, a palm print. This morning I can tell you that we have recovered what we believe.
And of course, on the left, stand-up comics praising the demise of Charlie Kirk. Absolutely shameful. As you can imagine, I'm receiving countless messages of support and concern for my own well-being. As Charlie Kirk and I ran in a lot of the same circles. If you go to my, see if I can bring up my personal Facebook page, I'll show you some of the images of Charlie and I here. I posted this 8 hours ago. Charlie Kirk's assassination is the turning point. You'll be missed, my friend. May the deep seeds you planted bear fruit from the tree of liberty. And the picture on the top there is when I interviewed Charlie at CPAC in 2020. And this second image here is when I met President Trump in Milwaukee. Charlie Kirk's presence, larger than life, quite literally. His stature could not be missed. And I remember meeting him there. And this image here was taken at a book signing where Charlie Kirk gave a speech. Angie and I had the privilege of sitting at the head table with him, having dinner with him. And I've been frantically looking for the video I took from that day. I still can't find it. I remember asking him a question and the remarks he made, but I can't find the video, sadly. But some of the moments that I did have with Charlie that I will never forget. So this is an ongoing situation. We're going to continue to monitor everything, bring you more information as it becomes available. But if you did find value from this and you want to support and stay informed, please. It feels so trivial to be like, oh, subscribe and like and comment, you know, but anyway, time for my final thought. So the investigation is moving at breakneck speed. The FBI has assembled significant evidence: the rifle, inscribed ammunition, palm prints, footprints, shoe impressions, high-quality video footage. They've tracked the shooter's movements from arrival at 11:52 a.m. through the rooftop access to the wooded escape route. Federal agencies are coordinating resources in what's become one of the most intensive manhunts in recent memory. Stephen Crowder's leaked ATF memo matches details the FBI later confirmed, showing information is flowing through multiple channels. The precision of the shot and the planned escape demonstrate this wasn't spontaneous. This took preparation. Former Navy SEAL Jonathan Gilliam noted the shooter knew Kirk's schedule and the terrain. Every law enforcement resource is being deployed to find this killer. So here is the question. Will the extensive forensic evidence and video footage lead to a quick arrest, or will this manhunt stretch on for weeks? Let's continue the conversation. And of course, if you have any information, contact the FBI.